up, everybody? I'm Sal Kalani. This is Reggie Steele. And welcome to Spitballin. Spitballin.
What's up, everybody? I'm Sal Kalani. This is Reggie Steele.
And welcome to Spitballin.
So one time I was headlining in Oregon, and this guy was opening, and he does his set. He brings up the middle. She does her set, and then he goes up to bring me up. But before he brings me up, he starts advertising his T-shirts that he's selling. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm on the side, like waiting. And then that's it. There's no the crowd kind of quiets it down. And then he brings me on stage. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I was in shock.
Did you feel Shanghai? Did you feel ambushed?
Yeah, I was like, first off, never
disrespected.
Yeah, they never want to sell, and then a host to sell, and then to do it not at the end of your set, but after two sets, and then before my set. What the fuck, man?
Hey, dude. Honestly, that is on the manager's head. Did the manager say anything to him?
There wasn't as managed of a club. I mean.
Oh, just like a
Reg, I ain't in the A system. I ain't in the majors. These ain't no top of the line club. So no, carry a little,
Well,
waxed.
Did you talk to him about it afterwards? Did you say something to him? Like, hey man, look, I don't have a problem with you selling your T-shirts. Just, you do that.
Honestly,
at the
I
end
don't
of the
think
show.
so. I didn't give a fuck. I think it was.
You should have said something, because that's a faux pas.
Yeah,
you can mess around. He's gonna mess around and lose work, or someone's gonna tell him, and they might not be nice about it.
I will say this though. I was talking to him about the T-shirts, and like, look, man, this game's hard, y'all. There's no middle class in this game. You either balling or you struggling.
It's famine or feast, baby.
Yeah, baby. So you better do this for the love, because there's a lot of fathom in it. What is it? Fathom?
No,
a lot of fathom in this fucking famine.
Famine.
There's a lot of famine in this dry ass desert. Fuck. So when you struggling, you gotta sell shit. All right. I don't give a shit. Because these motherfuckers, you gotta find your own transportation. And a lot of times you gotta find your own place to stay. Even if you headline it, I've headlined joints.
Yes.
And I've had to find my own place to stay. And I still did it because I could still come up a little. And I'm headlining. It's fun. You get to do comedy. But so you got to sell shit. Otherwise, you're going to break even or lose money. And but I was talking to him. When I do it, bro, like I found out like this. And down in LA, man, they hustlers.
Yeah,
Kevin Shea, who will guest on us podcast, our most viewed clip. He taught a lot of us this method. So there's this, you go downtown, this warehouse, you buy all these T-shirts at cost, basically. You pick whatever, a lot of variety, a lot of great stuff, but it's awesome. You go to an actual little fucking factory, you get them yourself, you get the screen yourself, you design it, you got to get an artist to design it, and then you make them yourself. And it's work, but it's the only way to really, come up. This guy, he was telling me about his shirts. He's like, shirts usually sell for $20. He's like, yeah, I ordered these shirts, cost me $16 each. So I'll be selling them after the show for $20. I'm like, bro,
that's a $4 profit margin. Are you
worst fucking business plan ever?
Dude, he has no concept of money.
Yeah, dude, that's what I was dealing with.
No concept of buy low, sell high. This dude is legitimately buying high and selling low. Like that's
right. So I felt sorry enough for him, and already I didn't need to check him on anything. I didn't keep it.
But the thing is, look, I hear you, and I appreciate your take, right? Because we both know that in this game, it is famine or feast, or it's either when it's hot, it's blazing, when it's cold, it's freezing, right? But there is a way of doing it that like shows respect to to the headliner and to yourself, right? Like, come on, man. It's like you do that at the end
I
of the
get
show.
that. And if this was
Yeah.
somebody you like cared about their career or whatever, and you thought they actually had potential, maybe you'd bring it up. I was, and yeah, I could be offended, but it's funny. I feel like as the older I get, and especially like after COVID now, I'm just appreciative just to get my money, try and perform. I don't even
I
give a
get it.
fuck.
I get it.
I tell you a friend we both know, he was telling me that somebody was an opener at one of his shows, made a comment like, oh, how do you have a blue check mark on your Instagram when you don't even have that many followers? It got all offended. And I'm like,
Jeez.
and he's like, yeah, I'm really mad. I'm like, who gives a fuck?
Who cares? It's not real.
I mean,
It's not
like,
real.
it just, you can't.
Well, hold up though. I gotta
who
address
cares?
this real quick. Because you said maybe if it's someone you care about their careers.
Right, like, yeah, I mean, look, if I think this guy's just some green, struggling, if you want my advice, I'll give it. But bro, you'll learn. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you're probably not going to be doing it in a year anyway. That's probably what I was thinking.
See, that's where you and I differ, because I'm like, yo, I gotta lace this dude up with game, right? Just to get him, I gotta let him know, right? Even if, look,
But he ain't
if he does
interested. And
No,
they
no, no.
interested, they ask.
No, but this is the point: is that you're the headliner. It's your show. If he makes you uncomfortable, or if he does something
uncomfortable, I just thought he was stupid.
Well, but dude, he did an advertisement. He did a fucking commercial in the middle of the show. Now, you and I have both worked
done before.
No, you have. You have.
In the middle of the
here
show?
Sal, here at blah blah blah, we recommend the blank hotel, right?
Okay, but I'm saying another comic actually selling the merch.
Yeah. No, I've never seen that. I've never seen that. Yeah, I mean, I've seen the club ask us to do an advertisement in the middle of the show.
Right.
Which we have military night. And,
so then you add that to your add that to a shirt sale. That's even harder.
Oh, it's like, we recommend this hotel, and for all your birthday parties, and if you're military, you get half off on Tuesdays. And by the way, folks, I got shirts for sale.
Yeah. And then he'd sell them next to me, and I was like, ugh. And like,
you guys ready?
He didn't really do well. I think he sold one.
You can just, that's terrible.
But I was just
my
like,
goodness,
shit.
That's terrible.
Whack,
he's selling
bro.
his t-shirt in the middle of the show, and he's like, all right, here's my t-shirt. I got large.
And they pull right up next to you. And I'm like, ugh, get away. I don't want to be associated, bro.
Hold up though. He's like, I got my t-shirts for sale. It's related to that joke I said. All right, you guys ready for your headliner?
Yeah, that joke I said half hour ago. Like, because,
exactly.
Oh my God.
People like, why is this? They're like, why is this person still on stage right now?
Yeah.
Why is he still talking to us? Well, before this, we were just talking about the reason we ended up talking about this, because we were talking about how sometimes on shows, openers, right, like taking the stage cold, a lot of openers kind of dread it, or a lot of people dread being in the first spot. I personally always kind of relished and enjoyed it, just because I like the idea of like just seeing how well I could do up front, like taking a cold audience from 0 to 60. But also a point that I made was that, the openers, a lot of openers don't realize this, but they forget. Hey man, it ain't about you. This show is not, if you're the opener, the only people that came to see you is your mama and your daddy, okay? And maybe your girlfriend and your best friend. That's about it. Everybody else came to see the last dude on the stage whose name is on the marquee. So when you take the stage as an opener, your job is to get people's attention and let them know that the show has started, tell them what the show is about, what they need to do, what they can't do. And then you go into a couple of your little jokes and tell some stories. And then at the end of that, you say, that's my time. You guys ready for your next comedian? That's what it's about. Your job is to welcome people to the show and let them know what's up. So for all the openers out there who are listening to this, if you remember that it ain't about you and your job is to get the show started and to set it up for the next man, then you'll do a lot better. You'll be a lot happier than dreading the opening spot, which I liked. It was nothing better than take a cold audience and then walk off. At the end, I go, hey guys, that's my time. And they're like, yeah, Reggie! I'm like,
Hey,
Boom.
Reg, I hit up a club about us
Oh boy, here we
trying
go.
to get up in the Bay.
Here we
And
go.
first hit them up on the Facebook, and they said, send the message to this email and give a headshot, give bios, blah, 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 blah. So
Okay.
then I sent that, and I got no response. So that's where we are on that right now.
It takes time. It takes time.
Ask Chris Garcia about doing the pod. He can't right now. He's stuck in the writer's room.
Okay. Okay.
I think I might
Mr.
have a guest for
Iglesias
next week. I'll
hold
follow
up.
up and confirm.
He's in the
No,
writer's
for
room.
I'm not even sure what it is.
It's not Mr. Iglesias on Netflix.
No, it's a new job for him.
Oh, okay. Is he still on that? Is he still writing on that, or is that show still even?
I think that show's done.
It's canceled. Well, it's got 2 seasons.
I think that's a wrap. But he told me something. I mean, I don't want to put out the man's business, but yeah, he's got this job. So we'll see. Good guy. Good for him.
Yeah, excited. That's great.
Oh, I did have some updates from stories we've talked about before.
Okay.
I should have what the hell? I should have blew it up. But remember this one where this black man was misidentified by police as this white man?
Yes, I remember that.
That was like one of our early stories.
Yeah.
So the black man sued, and because he spent 6 days in jail, god damn.
Pain and suffering.
He won his settlement case. Or he only got it was a settlement, so it didn't even go to court. But $90,000 he got for that.
Wow, that's impressive. Shit, if I got to spend 6 days in jail for 90 grand, 90.
I mean, he didn't know that going in.
Yeah, he didn't know that. Now let me just say this. I want to make sure that I make this absolutely 100% clear. This is jail, not prison.
Okay. So tell us the difference.
Well, I mean, jail, you still in the county, like you still right down the street. You know what I mean? Like you're in the holding tank where they take you for the weekend if you're drunk or belligerent or whatever, right? Right. It's a low security, low maintenance type of place. It's just detention, right? It's like being in detention after school. Right. Prison, that's when they send you off to a whole nother spot. And you in with, if you go to state prison, you in with hardened criminals. I'm talking about people violent offenders, right? Yeah, people who've been sentenced potentially to life, to 25 to 30, whatever the case may be. I'm talking about you got lifers in there.
So are you saying that this guy, he shouldn't complain? He came up.
Hey man, look, now honestly, I've never been to jail. I have no intentions of going to jail. I don't want to go to jail. But if I was mistakenly identified by somebody and I went to jail for 6 days on something like, yo, man, it's not me. And then I get out and I go, this is bullshit. I need some money. And they break me off 60K. I'd be like, I mean, 90K, not 60, but 90K.
90.
That was my dyslexia. I just flipped that 9 and made it a 6. So yeah, I walk out of it with $90,000. That's like being on a game show, right? Like that's like being on X Factor or whatever it is, where it's like, can he stand 6 days on the island naked? You goddamn right.
Now, okay, here's a question. Would you be able to do 6 days in prison for 90 grand?
I don't want to.
That'd be a great game. That could be a good game show. Like, can you spend 6 days in prison and make $90,000?
It's not can you spend, it's can you survive?
Survive, yeah.
6 days in prison.
Yeah, especially because if you're new meat, those first 6 days, you're getting sexually assaulted. Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to play that game.
Sexually assault. I'm not saying. Hey, look, what you're talking about right now, talking about can you survive 6 days in prison? You're talking about real life Squid Game right now.
Hey, man, dude, you don't know what those motherfuckers gonna be.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, if you make it out, then you're lucky to be alive, but there's a potential that you could die.
Right? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think 90 grand is enough. If you hit $1 million, but now, man. Look, I'd have to be funny as fuck. Like, remember in American History X, like the little funny black guy who did the laundry with them?
Yeah, that's Guy Torry. Guy Torry, comedian.
Was that Guy Torry?
That's Guy Torry. I worked with him too.
He was young back then.
Yeah. He was in
he was funny as fuck in that movie.
Yeah, he was.
But I'd have to use comedy to keep everybody off me. Be like, yo, you don't fuck Sal because he's funny.
I think the best part about this whole thing for me is that is that for whatever reason you think that you're gonna go to prison and people just want to bang you. Like people, who they might not even be attracted to you. Are you gonna be upset
Yo,
if they
Reg,
don't want to?
there's nothing to do with attraction. Don't you know anything about prison? Have you watched any shows ever?
Don't know anything about prison. I'm happy I don't.
Yo, man.
That's the biggest fear about prison. Is that I'm gonna get banged, bro. And then there's dudes out here in the street who getting banged for free.
Hey man, how unprofessional, Reg. You got your phone going off.
Yeah, my bad.
I remember I worked with this guy. My first job ever, I did a little landscaping. And I was like 15. My brother got me the job. But a lot of these guys were like, I worked with were like ex-criminals and shit. Like they would steal like BMX bikes from the west side and then go sell them on the east side of Cleveland. Jeez. And this one dude was telling me, I think he was in jail. Okay, so it was jail he was in. And there was, but he was there for like a week or so. And there was a pack of cigarettes there. And he asked the guy, hey, can I have one of your cigarettes? The guy goes, yeah, go ahead. And he lights it up. He starts smoking. And this other guy comes up and goes, what the fuck you smoking my cigarettes? And starts punching him.
No way. Are you serious?
Yeah,
oh so
there's no rules, even in jails.
There's no rules. Dude, damn that. Look, man, I'm telling you right now, if I had to go to prison, I would do everything in my power to get put in solitary confinement. You give me 6 days.
So you'd be one of those guys, the first day you're fucking someone up for the night, and then you're like, that's how I'm getting my night.
Nah, I wouldn't necessarily accost anybody.
Well, how else you think you're gonna get into solitary confinement, Reg?
I think you have to just take your own shit and wipe it on the wall and then go,
Nah, dude, they're just gonna make you stay in there and smell it.
Nah, man, they'd be like, oh, he's crazy. We got to put him in solitary confinement. And then I'll sit there in solitary confinement like this, count my money. I'll be like, oh man, 5 more days, I get $90,000.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, no, I'm good, man. And then you got federal prison. Federal prison is a lot different than state prison. Federal prison is like, it's literally like a camp, right? Like it's not.
Yeah, like what do they call that? Like minimum security.
Yeah, it's minimum security. So it's like
I had a friend.
It's like
his dad went to one of those. His dad had to go. I don't know what he did. His dad owned one of those liquor stores in downtown Cleveland, and he lived across the street from me. And then he's like, yeah, my dad had to go to prison for a few years. So he said he was set up or something. I don't know. So there was something shady going on, probably laundering or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
He got like 3 years in a minimum security. So he said it was really kind of like chill when he went.
Well, he said 3 years, so he was doing something big then. 3 years, you're looking at. I mean, that's some laundering, not laundering, but like it could be.
I don't know. I don't even know how much time he did.
Racketeering, embezzling, like it's not a violent offense. It's a white collar crime. Like, insider trading. That's where those guys go. They go to these minimum security federal prisons where it's literally like you live in like a dormitory, or you have like a big room with a bunch of cots in it where it looks like some military style joint, and you can walk around and do stuff and go places. Like they have classes you can take. There's a lot. If you got to go anywhere, if you have to go anywhere, like for a long period of time, then you definitely want to go to federal prison. Because I've seen videos online where these dudes.
So wait, no, not necessarily. Because like federal prison, I think you're talking about minimum security. Because federal, like the Unabombers in federal prison.
No, I'm talking about, well, I don't know. He's in federal?
Yeah, because when it's the FBI that's coming after you, I believe that's what federal prison.
Nah, it's.
I think you're just thinking minimum security, brah.
But there are different levels within that, right? There are different levels within that, because I've seen guys that I had a friend that was in federal prison for a long time. This dude,
for a long time.
He was in there for 15 years.
God damn! What did he do?
Well, he was a how should I say this? He was a street entrepreneur.
Oh, he's a drug dealer.
Well, he was more than a drug dealer. He passed drug dealer when we were in high school. Like he was way past that. He was a higher up.
Pimping?
No, not pimping. He was a higher up. Like he was, meaning that he was no longer on the street peddling money, like peddling drugs. He was a guy who was receiving big packages. Like he was a distributor. Like people he had a whole team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this dude made.
Where
what?
Where would this take place?
You mean what cities?
Yeah, what city?
What cities did he work in? Did he have businesses in? He
Or
was in
just what city was he in?
he was in a variety of cities. Man, he got moved all over the place. At one point, he was in North Carolina, then he was in Virginia, then he was in Texas.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like he moved to
Like
different places all
working
the
the
time.
job. He got moved
No,
around. Oh, in prison.
in prison. Yeah, when he was in prison. Now, when he had the job, he was based in the South, right? But
Really?
he had a boat in
What do you get
Louisiana.
drugs from like Mexico and South America and then bring them up?
Man, look, he got it from wherever they all get them from, wherever the wholesaler is. Usually, I mean, look, you talk about watching TV shows and knowing. I'll just say this: usually there's stuff dropped off in the Gulf of Mexico, man, right? Because you got that whole Gulf with Florida, Mobile, Alabama, Louisiana, and then a little bit of Texas, and then it goes down to Mexico and then Central America. So stuff gets dropped off into the water. And then if you got the means, then you go out there and you pick it up.
Yeah. Yeah. You ever see there's a great movie called American Made, I think, with Tom Cruise, and it's based off of a true story about like this guy who found his way doing that. He would go down to Colombia and stuff and get the drugs and then fly up and then yeah, they would bundle them and it was like kind of waterproof and he'd drop them out of his plane and
Yeah.
then they'd hit there. And then what was funny though, he would use these really small planes, and then when the FBI or whatever would come onto them, they'd fly these jets. But all you had to do was just keep flying, and then eventually the jets had to refuel before these little planes, just because they're going so slow, we're using so little fuel, and then they'd have to take off, and then you go and then you'd go land.
Go and finish. See, and that's that's old school, right? Like that method.
And this was like from the 80s anyway.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
thing. And then he ended up getting assassinated. There's a whole thing, man. Like he gets mentioned in the whole Iran Contra affair, and he met what's that big the guy everybody El Chapo or no, not El Chapo. Pablo Escobar. He was working with him. Like it's crazy.
Pablo
and the
was
CIA.
Crazy. Yo, that joint is
crazy. Crazy shit.
Yeah, like all that stuff that's old school, because now you hear about it now and it's like coming in container ships, but it's like it's in different forms and it's stuffed in toys, and you know what I mean? Like every once in a while you hear about some big score they've had where they find, they take apart some dolls and it's like it's full of cocaine, right? Or full of whatever it is they're peddling out. But yeah, my man did about 15, and then when Obama was in office, remember he passed a law where any non-violent federal prisoners' sentences were reduced, right?
Oh, wow.
So he got out. Like that helped him. He was able to get out earlier because of that. He's out now.
All right, so look, I'm looking up the federal prisons here, Reg, and yeah, it is a lot of like these are real hardened. These are big crimes. Like your guy didn't do anything violent, but there's other. You could have tons of violent offenders in there. Like they got sex offenders. They just said got 25 years in federal prison. So I think it just depends on the spot and what kind of the crime.
Well, I think even within those facilities, they have different tiers, right? Like they have a section for the hardened, not the hardened, but the severe crimes, like you said, the child molesters or the child offenders, and then the Unabomber, right? And then even terrorists, right? Like there's no Guantanamo anymore, but like, that's where they put those guys. But then you have other guys who are like Bernie Madoff, right? Who stole a lot of money. So he's not going to be in that type of facility. I think he was in a minimum security, like a camp is what they call it. So, but yo, it's crazy, man. Look, I ain't trying to go to none of that shit, dog. Look, I value and appreciate my freedom.
Freedom is big.
Freedom is big. Like, don't know everybody got to complain about freedom. Man, I can't do this, I can't do that, or whatever the case. And people always trying to, and then when somebody come up and take your shit, put them chains on your wrist and your ankles, then you be like, oh man, I was tripping. So yeah, I don't need that wake up call. I appreciate my freedom. I love.
All right, Reg, before we get into our next thing, I wanted to throw one more shout out to some Old Bay Area comic we know on CNN, W. Kamau Bell. I read this little article he wrote for CNN. It was pretty funny, just promoting and talking about what's going on, but they want educators how they're in Texas were proposing referring to slavery as involuntary relocation. And he's like, nope. He's like, involuntary relocation is what happened when my mom decided we were moving from Boston to Chicago without my permission. He's like, in the lexicon of the GOP, America doesn't have too many mass shootings. It has occasional involuntary not alives.
That's funny. That's pretty good.
But that's the facts, man. It's crazy times, man.
Yeah. Kamau is he's done well for himself, man. I mean, like, we've talked about this at length on, on many occasions, but I think the Bay has proven to be a valuable commodity in the world of information, right? Content creation and information, right? With Kamau, with Kevin Avery, with Chris Garcia, with Ali Wong, with Moshe Kasher, with
Simon.
Simon Minhaj. We've had, and guys that we knew, that we were around on a regular basis and interacted with, and we saw them kind of cutting their teeth early, we're able to move on to different things and actually be really successful at it. So I think it says a lot about the Bay, dude. And we've had other people.
Yeah, the Bay is great.
Hold on, don't even forget Al Magical, who's been able to be busy. Now, he's not necessarily a voice.
He's got a comic book out now.
Really?
Called Primos.
Wow. Really?
Which is funny because when I was working at the restaurant, which had just closed, all the Mexican cooks in the back, like at first I spoke a little broken Spanish, and then I'd say amigo a lot, but then they're like, nah, you don't say amigo. That's what like stupid white people say. He's like, you say primo, which means cousin, right? So then I always call him Primo, and then now I realize he's got a comic book called Primo. So I'm like, that's funny.
Wow, that's cool. And I think you and I both were recipients of the Dan Crawford Award.
Yeah, which he kind of created.
Which he created for a friend of his who was a comedian in San Francisco years ago who passed away from a brain tumor. But the show, we would always do this show, and they would recognize one comic each year for the Dan Crawford Award. Dan Crawford, he died from a brain tumor, but he didn't have medical, and so he ended up going to the Haight-Ashbury Clinic, and they were the ones that helped him at the end, right? Helped him understand what was going on. And so every year we would do a show, and the proceeds from that show would go to the Haight-Ashbury Clinic, and then they would pick one comic that exemplified what Al Magical and some of his other friends felt would represent Dan Crawford. And so
there's me with my reward.
Oh, there you go. Okay,
Matt Morales and Max Curry.
Yeah, man. And so if you can't see it now, but if you zoom in, my name's on there too, on that plaque.
You got it before me or after?
I thought I got it. Did I get it before or after?
I can't remember either.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so that's kind of cool. And that was associated with Al. So he would always come up, and that was the first time I got a chance to meet him.
All right, so here's my question, Reg.
Okay.
So for this next topic, should I get a puppy?
Dude, come on.
So we were going.
No. Okay. The question is, no. Let me clarify this really quickly. The question isn't, should you get a puppy? The question is, do you want a dog? Because they're only a puppy for a short period of time. Then they turn into full-fledged dogs.
So here's the thing.
And they need to be walked, and they need to be played with, and they need to be cleaned up behind.
If you don't have I do that now for cats.
Okay, but the difference, you don't walk your cats, or do you? Do you walk carpet?
No, but I take her outside. She'll just chill outside a lot and go up. She'll just climb up on the mailbox. She'll rub around on the sidewalk. She walks around, eats grass.
Okay.
She's pretty good. She's smart, so she'll listen really well. Like I can hey, let's go. And she's like, all right. Sometimes she needs convincing, but yeah, no.
Well, no, cats belong indoors at all. All cats belong indoors. There should not be any outdoor.
I'm gonna tell you, man, they can survive on their own just fine outdoors, and that's part of it too. Because they're like, I don't need you all, motherfuckers.
No, but see, you haven't heard about the cat situation.
What? I mean, dude, there's cats there's so many feral cats in this town. It's crazy.
And that's a problem.
I know it's not good.
It's not good. The problem with the problem with feral cats and stray cats and outdoor cats is that they throw off the ecosystem, because cats kill everyything. They do.
Yeah, they're little murderers, bro.
Yeah, if it moves, they kill it. So they throw off the whole ecosystem. And cats have no natural predators, so they're like apex predators out there. that will just basically destroy everything. So I read this whole article about years ago about how all cats should be indoor cats, because when they're outside, they throw off the ecosystem. They take things out of the food chain. They kill birds, right? They kill birds and they
Yeah,
kill.
but it's like none of these things are struggling. Oh, what are they going to
No.
kill too many mice? There's thousands of millions of mice.
Dude, the point being is that they throw off the ecosystem.
A lot of them don't even survive off of that shit. They eat off garbage and stuff.
Well, either way it goes, they still affect the ecosystem. It's the same
Well, you
way
know what's
hold up. Same thing with was it Yellowstone, right? Yellowstone National Park, where they took out all the wolves. Remember they had killed the wolves, and then
yeah,
then there were too many everything was it too many deer, right? And they were eating all the grass, and it was eroding the ground. And
right, and there's balance. You gotta have
a balance. And what I'm saying is that because cats, now look, if cats had a natural predator, if there was something out there hunting cats, fine, let them be out in the woods, right? Let them be out there, because something is eating them, but nothing eats them. They eat everything. They
yeah, but there's enough dangers. I mean, cars, big danger. Other cats, big danger.
All I'm gonna say is, because we're both science guys. I think that's been established, that the scientists and the people who study this have said cats should all live indoors. Now, look, you can argue with me all day about
man, but hey,
whatever their ills are in society, like trees.
But see, you're just talking about prison. And if a cat is wild in heart and he wants to go outside and live outside, who am I to say otherwise? Because a scientist says, well, you're too badass to live outside. Fuck you. I want to live outside.
You know what? You sound like this guy. I encountered this guy the other day at work. He had a 2-year-old. 2-year-old was walking around, putting himself in all types of danger, right? Like potentially about to fall down the stairs and all this kind of stuff. And the guy looks at me and goes, she's just out of control. I can't control her. And I said to him, I knew he was kind of joking, tongue in cheek, but I said to him, she's 2. You should control her, right? Like she's a little kid. This cat is not a conscious human being.
No, I mean, look, if it's my cat, I like to keep it in. But yes. I'm just saying, there's cats out there who like
shouldn't be.
I want to live outside, and who am I?
They don't.
All right. Anyway, here's the thing.
Okay. But hold up, this
real quick. All off by topic.
I know. My bad. Hold on. Last thing. To say, do I want a puppy is akin to someone saying, I want a baby. No, you want a human. You want a person.
Hell no. Here's the thing. This part easy. That's why it fits. The problem is it fits. Right, so we're out about them driving down the street, and the local bookstore was having their puppy adoption and kitten adoption. Okay. So we like pull on. I was like, all right, we'll pull on, park and check it out. Let's go check it out. And like the kittens are great, but I'm good on cats for now.
You got 2, 3. Right? 3.
We good. So then there's these puppies now. I've never really held a puppy before, like a puppy. And that was part of it too. But they're like, "Oh, you want to hold this puppy?" So, dude, I hold this puppy, man.
That's like getting the merch. That's getting the merchandise in your hands, man. It's hard.
It's the sweetest puppy in the world. Look at this thing.
Oh my goodness! Look at this guy. Oh, dude.
And dude, that's a little like tongue action she's got there.
Look at your nose.
Yeah.
If you can't get a male dog, because I think female dogs, they have periods, and so you're gonna have to deal with some.
Oh, what? Stuff. Well, no, they're probably fixed, Reg. If they're fixed, you don't have to.
Okay.
See? Look at that little tongue.
Oh, she kicked your nose. Look at that. Yeah. What kind of dog is it? Like a Labrador or something?
No, see, that's what I thought too. And then you're right. Then you're like, oh man, that's going to be a tough thing to take care
tough,
of.
but just it's going to be
especially like apartment living. No, this thing is this is what I like about it. It's it looks like a big dog, but it's a small dog. It's part Chihuahua and part Schnauzer.
Oh, I see it now. Seeing its face from this angle, I can see a little bit of the Chihuahua.
So you get a better view of its face here. But it looks like a little black lab, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. But I mean, the features are a little different as far as like
that's the thing. It's not going to grow any bigger than like 10 pounds, they said. So it's already like going to be the size of my cats, if not smaller. And so that means small turds, which I like. That means you can bring it on a plane. You know, anything you put it under your seat. You could I mean, it's pretty small and chilling, I think. I don't know, man. I'm kind of, and then
Hey,
I kept
look,
talking about it the next day, and I'm like,
hey man, look, I'm gonna tell you right now, as a guy who grew up with a dog, like I had Phila and then I had
you had a
Rusty.
dog?
Yeah, I had a dog. I
I had a
got,
dog too. I haven't had dogs since.
dude, I got Phila when I was 4. He was a puppy. I remember when Walter brought him home in a cardboard box. Uh, and my next door neighbor, Jack and Carmen, came over, and we sat on my porch, like playing with this puppy, and that was the beginning, right? And I had him from 4 to 18. He was a big dog, a German Shepherd. He lived for 14 years, which is a long time for those dogs.
What was his name?
Uh, his name was Phila.
Phila.
So okay, what happened was I used to call him fella, right? Hey, little fella. Like it was like, what's his name? I just call him fella. And fella over the years just turned into Phila.
Is that because no one can understand you because of your accent?
Oh, I think it just morphed into
Yeah,
fella.
Phila.
To Phila.
It's Phila. It's
It's
Phila, everybody.
His name is Philip. Like what? Philip. At some point, people called him Philip. They're like, "Oh, Philip." I was like, "No, Philip." Like if I spelled it now, it would be if I went like Phila, like almost Phila, like PH or Philla, like Philadelphia, Phila.
Yeah.
Right. But I called him Phila. That was his name, Phila. I would call him, "Hey, Phila," and it do. Man, I love that.
That's why I never knew you had a German Shepherd.
Dude, I had Phila for 14 years.
You never talk about your dog, right? It's like sociopathic stuff, isn't it?
How? No, it's sociopathic if I killed him, right?
And act like nothing happened.
And act like nothing happened. Like put him in a microwave, and it was like, oh yeah, I just watched him explode. Put a frog in there.
I had little Pooch. Pooch was half Pomeranian, half like mutt. And so he was also a smaller black dog, but it had the cute face, but wasn't all puffy and fluffy.
Right.
It was black with the
so you're reliving your childhood right now. If you get this,
I don't know, man. Look, see, I got the picture up again, and the picture makes me want to call him. Should I call him to see if she's still available, dude?
Yeah, why not? I mean, if you got the means to take care of it, and there's
no
problem for
what
it in your
means
apartment.
do I need? It's so we got a small apartment, but they're like the thing's good with cats. That was another thing. They said it's good as cats and other animals. It's been where it's been fostered, and I don't know how much it would be though. They'll probably rip you off.
Well, just call and see. You know,
yeah, well, my cat's for $5. I'm
Yeah.
scared, Reg. I'm scared, dude.
Why, dude? I'm telling you right now. You've had a dog growing up, but now, dude, a dog right now, you would love that dog. That dog, because dogs are different than cats. Cats are great when they.
You're not helping me not do this.
Hey man, I'm just being honest with you. I'm just being honest with you. Look, cats are great when you're sitting and cats want to get some attention, they come over and they
even something this small, dude. I mean, this is what I like though. It's because I wear an apartment in Hollywood. This is the way to go.
Listen, everybody who's listening to this, because I think sometimes we forget about our audience, but everyone who's listening to this will attest to this. Dogs are pure love, bro.
Right.
That is
right.
it. I mean, they're happy to see you when you come home. They want to play with you. They want to be around you. They want to snuggle. They are there.
All right, I'm gonna call
for you. Okay.
I want to call.
Cats are like,
see if
I only need you
available.
when I need you. So,
all right, we'll call. We'll see if she's still available. Here we go.
Hold up though. Let me just tell you this story. You said I never talk about my dog. So Philip was a German Shepherd. He was a big dog, and I used to play with him in the backyard all the time, right? And I used to do this thing because I just wanted to see what would happen. I would do this thing where I would be out playing with him, and then I would run because I had a nice sized backyard, all grass, and I'd run, and then I'd act like I trip and fall, and I'd lay there and I wouldn't move, right? And because we were playing, he'd come up and he kind of start playing at me, and he'd sniff on me, and then he started nudging me with his nose, right? And I wouldn't move. I would lay there, I wouldn't move. And I shit you not, may God strike me down right now if I'm lying. This dude would go to the back door and start barking for like help.
Oh, man, you mean tricking your dog like that?
I know. But I didn't know he was gonna do that. I didn't know he was gonna do that.
Once Did you do it multiple times?
No. Once you do it and you know if you're conscious, right?
Man, Reg, that was mean.
Well, I didn't know what he's gonna do. I just wanted to see what he would do. I really wanted to see what he would do.
Here we go. I'm scared.
Philip. R.I.P. to Philip.
All right, so I'm gonna just call them and put them on speaker. Maybe I'll go through and tell them,
Awesome.
see if they still have it available. Oh man, now I'm all nervous. What if they
Don't be
don't?
nervous. Just you're calling for information.
Can you hear it ring?
Mhm. Hello.
Hello. I had a question. I saw you guys on Saturday. You had a like adoption thing for puppies at bookstore.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if you still had one of the puppies available. It was a female half Schnauzer Chihuahua.
Hi. Yeah, she got adopted.
Okay.
I do have. I mean, they're very, very different. I have Husky Shepherds.
Oh yeah. Okay. No problem. I was just calling, but thank you. Oh, I'm depressed, Reg.
Nah, don't be depressed. It just wasn't meant to be. That's what it is.
Oh,
It wasn't meant to be.
got a new home. I'm sad about my puppy. I lost my
I know,
puppy,
man.
Reg.
Well, no, it wasn't yours. Don't worry.
Should have pulled the trigger.
It's all right.
But it's like, when you but see, that's the thing. If it could stay small, it's perfect for an apartment.
Right. So how about this? Just be happy that she got adopted, right? That means that
Well,
because somebody else
I
saw
would
it.
have been happy if I did it.
Well, somebody else saw her and felt the same thing, and they were able to do it. So she's in a good place now.
No.
She's in a good place, man. There'll be others, believe me. I promise you there'll be others, right? But when she mentioned that husky mix, I was like, ooh.
See, that's the thing. I've heard about them on Saturday, but I can't. This place is too small for that.
Yeah. Nah.
If
I had
rocking no husky,
dude, I'm telling you right now, if I had,
why don't you get a dog? Does your boy want a pet?
Yeah, I need to get him a dog. I had a dog, and I know how important it is, and he wants one. But I live in an apartment still, man. I just don't have the room, and my apartment doesn't allow dogs, right?
See, that's the thing. LA is way cooler about having dogs down here. Like almost everyone in my area has dogs because they're way cooler about it down here. It's weird. Like SF, that was a big thing. SF, I could never get a pet because they were like that. And even when I got the cat up there, I didn't really even tell the landlord. We just did it. Like, what fuck, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah,
so
but here they don't care as much. That is true though. Dogs are tougher to get.
Yeah, they are. So I would love to. And hopefully in time I can make that happen because I really feel like come on, man. To be a boy, there's nothing. I don't know if there's anything greater than being a boy with your dog.
I loved having a dog.
Dude, and look, my dog was different. Like where I grew up, or at least in the area that I grew up, I'm sure there were people who did, who trained their dog and took them for walks and all that kind of stuff. My dog was in the backyard. He lived outside, and I played with this dude every day. He had a dog house. Like it wasn't an indoor dog. He wasn't like in my bed.
Did you have to tie him up outside?
No, because I had a big backyard. He had the whole backyard to roam. So
he never ran away.
Oh yeah, he did run away. He ran away
all the time.
Well, no, he would run away. I love telling this story. He would run away.
Fix him?
Well, see, that's what I was gonna say.
Okay.
He wasn't fixed. So every spring, there've been time like I could go through the side gate at my house, open the side gate, and he would just stand there, wait for me to come through. I turn the gate around, turn and close the gate. Now hold up though. This is the thing. I had to start putting a lock on the side gate because he was a very smart dog. We used to play catch and all that kind of stuff. But you know how the fences where they had the little thing that comes down like this on the fence, right? He would see me lift it up, open up the gate. He would come up with his nose. I watched him. He would come up with his nose, kick it up, push the gate open, and then go outside, right?
Smart.
He was smart. So every spring, Phila, not being fixed, would go into heat. And anytime I go out and open up the gate in the springtime, that dude, he would just shoot right past me. I'd be like, Phila, and he'd be running. He'd be running, right? And then I'd be like, Phila. And this dude would stop and be like, I'm sorry, bro. I gotta go get some. So he would run off. And then for like the next 3 days, I legitimately, for the next 3 days, wouldn't see him, or I'd only see him in passing because he'd find whatever the neighborhood strays are.
And there's some neighborhoods probably getting their dog screwed over and be like, man, Reggie can't even tie his dog up out here.
But it wasn't, you know how it is. It's like if there's one, excuse my French, but that's what they call them, there's one bitch in heat, it was like a pack of 8 or 9 dogs, and they would all be fighting for their chance to whatever. But I will say this, after about 3 days of running them streets, chasing tail, fighting, trying to do whatever, trying to, solidify his spot as the top dogs, the alpha. on the third day, I kid you not, man, I swear to you, I would go open the front door and this dude would be sitting on the porch, hungry, thirsty, tired. I'd open the front door. This dude would walk straight through the house to the back door. He'd sit there, wait for me to open the back door. I open the back door, he'd go down the back stairs, and then he would go and he'd drink like a gallon of water and he just eat. And then he just lay out. He just he just lay out. I'm like, and it wasn't until I got older that I started to understand what was going on. And you know,
weren't you ever worried to get hit by a car or anything?
Nah, I wouldn't worry about that at all. I didn't even think about that. It just sometimes I would see him running with the pack and I'd be like, Philip, and he'd stop and just be like,
hey man, look,
sorry, bro, I can't do nothing right now. I gotta stay.
Get some.
He's like, I gotta stay focused. I'm trying to do a thing, right? So yeah, man, I love that dog. When my mom got me, she had a collie, a king, a big one of the big collies, not the little ones. Had a collie named King, and then I got Phila. King passed away. Then I got Phila when I was 4, and then as Phila got older, probably about when I was about 14, maybe 15, I found a puppy, like a stray in my neighborhood, and he was like a little mutt, but he was like a burnt orange kind of color, like almost the color of this, and he I named him Rusty. And so I had him, I put him in the backyard with Philip as like a little companion. Philip was great. He would just sit there. The puppy would play all over him. And, you know, he kind of taught him he taught him the ropes or whatever. But Rusty ended up getting out at one point, and then he did get hit by a car. He got hit by a car. Or he didn't die though. Either he got hit by a car, or he got into a bad fight. Either way, something happened where he came back one day and like his jaw was like askew. It was like broken.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, and his back hip was his back. So took him to the vet, and they were like, yeah, it looks like he's, you know, either he got hit by a car or he got into a bad fight. And but he healed, and we kept him, and then he passed away young.
Well, way to close out the pod with some sadness, Reg.
Who said that this was the end?
Right? The time did, so wrap us up.
Oh, come on. All right, let's I got to end on something positive.
Well, I'm looking up pup culture right now. Let's see. They're in LA. That's good. Meet our adoptable dogs on Instagram.
Well, maybe next week we'll be talking about you having a puppy and integrating, bringing that into the house with the 3 cats.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious how they'll react to cats. I think they kind of get along.
Well, I was gonna say, if it's a puppy, I think they'll be okay.
Well, you think that, but my cat Carpet, the Calico, the first one we got, you'll see her once in a while. She hates everybody and every living thing. And when the first kitten we got was a fucking kitten, we put her in a cage. And this cat was just going around. And she'd walk up the cage, put her little paw, and then went bam. And this little kitten was just like, "What's going on?" It's like she was a fucking dick. So
she letting them know this is my spot.
Yeah.
So why do you guys keep Calico? Just let Calico go.
Well, like I said, she wants to go outside. She can. No,
so you got Calico,
but she's a wild. She's the king. She's she's a wild.
Wait, is Calico, Carpet, and who?
So the Calico is Carpet. That's a type of cat.
Calico
is the
Calico is the type
it's all
of cat.
mixed. Yeah, like the brown and the
white
but and the.
Is Carpet the one that climbs all over you and lets you put her?
No, that's Metro. That's the baby.
Oh,
that's the
Metro.
Little guy. He's the one we found. Like he was like a week old, and he was like literally that big. You fit him in the palm of your hand.
Okay,
so he's very sweet. You can do whatever with that guy.
Okay, that's a boy cat. So you got Carpet, Metro, and
then the middle one is Waffle. She's a tuxedo. Waffle. You never see her much. She's very quiet and off in her own, but very, very sweet. Can't meow, but
can't meow.
Doesn't meow. It goes.
Really, like no voice.
Once in a while, you'll hear it, a very little one, but it's not common.
Okay, all right. Well, I know that I probably would never visit you because remember we went to DC or we were.
You're allergic to cats.
I'm allergic, and 3 with the cat dander, dude.
It could be bad.
Remember, it felt like an elephant was sitting on my chest. Remember that? I was like, I can't breathe.
Yeah, they make pills for that, dude. Just take a pill. It'll be fine, bro.
Man, always about a pill. How about just not be
Well,
around
hey,
cats?
you don't want to hang out. Yeah, you just rather not hang out with living creatures because of that.
Dude, if my body says that it feels like I'm gonna die when I'm around them, I probably should just not be around them, right? It's the same thing with milk. I know you have a whole issue with this, but my body is like, yo, I don't like it. I'm not gonna go start taking lactate pills and be like, no, take this, body, take it and
Well,
process it.
if it depends, but usually, yeah, I don't mess with dairy. But nothing beats a real cheese on a pizza, though, bro.
Well, hold up though. I can't, it's funny is I can eat cheese on a pizza, but it just can't be too much cheese. Like there's certain pizzas
Yeah,
that
because you're not really.
No, I am. I'm 100%. But but this is crazy because my son loves cheese, right? He gave up cow's milk a long time ago. Just stopped drinking it, which is fine with me because I'm like, we shouldn't be drinking another animal's milk anyway. That's supposed to be designed for baby calves to grow into 3-ton animals or whatever. But that's a whole nother discussion. But dude, he's like, he loves quesadillas. And he's like, I think I'm getting allergic to cheese. I'm like, really? Why? He's like, because whenever I eat it, I start to fart a lot. I start to, he's like, I always got a toot. He goes, I start tooting. I go, uh-oh, dude, I'm telling you right now, this kid loves cheese. If he loses cheese, man.
Well, here's a solution for him. I got a solution for him. Manchango. You buy it at Trader Joe's, and the reasoning is sheep cheese has like very little lactose. So the cow is the worst. You want to stay away from the cow, but goat has a little less. But sheep, I've never have a problem with sheep cheese. So that's the way to go. And Manchango is a Spanish cheese, and the best deal you can get and the best flavor, taste, and one I feel is at Trader Joe's, and because they'll sell it in other stores, but it's like, I don't know, it's like, it seems overproduced. But it's really good, bro.
Manchango. All right, well, text me that name or the picture of it, dude, or whatever.
It's awesome.
So, all right, well, that's a better note. We talk about you and your.
All right, close us out, Reginald.
Your cheeses. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in this week to Spitballin. We really appreciate it. We love your what would I call it? It's not patronage, but because they're not giving us any money. But
yeah, we should work on that. I'm out of a job. But do we have the Mahershala Minute set up yet?
No. And
we can give all these Blade updates once a week. Dude, we'll be the hottest podcast around.
I am not exploiting my friend.
It's not it's helping.
Dude, it's exploiting. I will not exploit my friend for a 1 or 2 more listeners. It's not gonna happen.
No, that's the thing. 1 or 2 million listeners.
Yeah,
we got all the inside scoop on the Marvel Blade, people, right here. You want it? We got it. Subscribe now. $14.95 the first minute, $2.95 each additional minute.
Exactly. And all they get to hear is me talk about, he's gonna be in that movie. Yeah,
he's wearing black.
He's gonna be wearing black. He's gonna have blade. He's gonna have swords.
He got katana blades.
Uzis. He's gonna have the whole thing. All right, man. So thank you guys for listening. We love doing this. We appreciate you. Please subscribe, share, and like. We're gonna keep doing it. So yeah. So give it up. So that's Sal Kalani. I'm Reggie Steele, and this is Spitballin. Peace.